Do not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening, y'all? Today's topic and question is it possible to dismiss my immigration case? Okay, folks. All right, so welcome to greencardguys.tv. We're here to solve your immigration problem or even prevent it from happening in the first place. We receive many calls about, this situation or that situation. And unfortunately, like one today, it's going to be a very difficult uphill battle. And we just try to share the landscape of things as transparent as possible, because some people say, like, okay, if I fight it now and I win, what's the point? Ultimately, I want the green card, I want the resident status, or I want to become a U.S. citizen. Even if we win this little battle right now, are we going to be able to get there in the long run? So we'll cover that in a bit as well. But for right now, okay, folks, the question is it possible to dismiss my immigration case? And let me give some examples. In general, yes, but it's not for everyone. For example, I'm just going to share briefly. We had a couple of consuls where people had some criminal history in the past. They're a different person now, right? And so the difficulty in that, even if you get a dismissal and you have a criminal history, is that when you eventually go through the process of residency application, the 485, or even you want to become you're a resident now, you get the status back, and then you file to become a citizen, that crime is going to come back up, okay? So the thing is, if you have some kind of criminal history, and maybe it's probably the reason you got an immigration court in the first place and maybe got order removal, then you got to see if it's possible to get a pardon or somehow get it dismissed. Post-conviction relief is what attorneys call it, criminal defense attorneys call it. But of course, the majority, to be honest, 98%, I would say, of our calls or a consultation strategy session about dismissing cases, you'll have a clean record. Okay. So, honestly, it threw me for a loop the other day when someone asked me a question about the criminal history to see if there was a way we can do it. So we're trying to wrap our heads around that to see. Eventually, it's probably going to come back to bite you in the butt again, legally speaking. So a pardon or some kind of post-conviction relief is really the way to go about that one, if possible. By the way, folks, if you enjoy the content that we share, how we share information, more in depth than probably most lawyers on YouTube, please tap the screen, okay? Tap it on TikTok, on YouTube and Facebook. I think you got the hearts. I get all mixed up these days. The like button, okay? That really, apparently my team tells me that it means a lot for our algorithm. It helps share our video to our channel to other people who are asking immigration questions, okay? By the way, folks, you're welcome to drop a question down at the comment box down below on whatever platform you're on, and I'll try my best to answer questions. So we're just not at that part yet, but I have a team member, Maria, is going to help us out on TikTok, because y'all on fire. You're going to ask a lot of questions, which I love. I love answering questions. But one more housekeeping thing I need to share with you is that, especially if I'm not able to answer a question right at this moment during this session I'm probably going to be on for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Lately, I've been on for an hour, but as you can tell, somehow I go live and my voice starts to crack a little already. But I have several team meetings I need to get to today. What else to share? But yeah, if we're not able to answer your question, give us a call, okay? Our number is 720-740-4247 on YouTube and Facebook. It's right up here. But I don't know, TikTok, something about they don't allow us to share numbers on written format. So again, the number is 720-740-4247. Now, this is a special number just for y'all, okay? Because if you go to a Google profile, it's a different number. So please be mindful if for some reason you need to leave voicemail or have to call you back, it could be from a different number. So it might be a little confusing. But whenever we call you back, please save our number, okay? Because I know it's kind of difficult to get a hold of each other back and forth. And we're here to solve your immigration problem, even prevent it from happening in the first place. Okay, so let me go to YouTube, because once we start on TikTok, it gets a little difficult. Good to see you, Anu. Good afternoon. Good to see you, Protensky. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in live. Now, but yeah, one more example about, is it possible to dismiss my immigration case? Yes. The most common example is when someone is married to a U.S. citizen or a resident. Yes, actually a resident. Now, most lawyers will probably tell you, I'm assuming, that it might not be possible with a resident, but it is, because of course, it might not be for every single city where the immigration court is, where we have to contact a different Department of Homeland Security attorney. But in general, we've been able to get it dismissed, even when the sponsor is a resident. Now, you might wonder, well, does it have the visa bulletin? The visa bulletin likely was current at the time, but ultimately, if you have the situation and maybe your attorney tells you no, it's not possible. We really try to think outside the box, right? We would tell the government attorney if that you would need to apply for a waiver if needed, right? Let's say the priority date visa bulletin, the prior date on your visa bulletin is not current for F2A if you were a resident, right? The sponsor is a resident, and the sponsor, this resident spouse, is not legally eligible to become a citizen. So that's maybe the reason you don't want to apply. Not yet. Then we would present an argument to the government attorneys that, yes, you're still eligible to get residency, but you would need to apply for a waiver, 601A, which a legal permanent resident spouse is a qualifying relative for that. You only need one, okay? Now, it's not just a matter of checking off the box on a waiver application. Unfortunately, it's not just a form. It takes substantial preparation if you need it. Maybe you say, well, let's present this argument to DHS, but wait another year. If we get it dismissed, wait another year until your spouse is eligible to become a citizen, and then stay here to do the adjustment of status in America, right? So it depends on timing. This is a strategic option for you, okay? Just because we say we're going to file a waiver, I mean, we can consider it, but that doesn't mean that DHS is going to contact us 6 months later and say, hey, bro, did you file it? No, not necessarily, okay? They don't got time for that. All right, folks. So, let's see. Okay, so let's get to some of the questions. I wanted to answer that, share that kind of situation that could be possible. Let's see. And by the way, usually someone's not eligible to become a citizen yet if you're married to a spouse who's a resident. It's because maybe he or she just got divorced from someone who sponsored them. So let's see. Anyways, okay, back to deep. Now to TikTok questions. How long does it take 765 work permit, category C14? I don't know if the 765 applications are that specific on the USCIS processing timetable. By the way, I just want to share an example of how ridiculous USCIS is. We have a client that is at the field office right now. I can't tell you which one specifically right now, but they've been waiting. They waited at least 3 hours, okay, for the interview. It's ridiculous. So my team member, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Unfortunately, had to wait they had to reschedule the flight. Okay, so let me see here real quick let's see if it says it for C14. Yeah, you might want to just go to the USCIS. I can't answer that question. I really want to go through all these, but I need to know like what service center, where is it located. So I would go to uscis.gov, click on tools and resources, or just Google search USCIS case status, and you can check that out. I don't have I try to have a in my head, but not that specific to C14. Okay, share WD. What if there is no criminal record approved I-130, but your I-45 is denied because of C1D visa? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So if that's your last entry, C1D, crewman visa, then you need a. Are you eligible? Are you have TPS? Because then you could apply for advanced parole 131 and use that as your most recent entry. Hopefully that can help. But yeah, not everyone qualifies for TPS, of course. Yeah. Yeah, you get most people don't know that. Yeah, C1D is not a legal entry in terms of adjustment purposes. Um, yeah, I-130 is usually a I-130 when you get denied 45, that's when you get the I-130 approval. Yeah, maybe even one day before the 45 decision. I know it's weird. So most people get confused, like why approve the petition but not the 45? It's there for two different reasons. The petition is just to demonstrate that you're legally married per state law. So if it was in Texas, if you got divorced for any reason, then you waited 30 days, for example, okay, before getting remarried. But the 45 is more about adjustment status, okay, not in terms of like bona fide evidence of that you've been living together, essentially holding yourself out as spouses. Let's see. Okay, KG, can we expedite work authorization based on pending 45? Yes. You can argue based on job loss. Keep in mind, anything I say now can change like today, with USCIS. In the past couple of weeks or the past month, USCIS has, in our opinion, our experience, they've cracked down, or I don't know, I won't say cracked down, but they've been more restrictive or stringent on granting these expedite requests. And keep in mind, for folks that are not aware, expedite requests was originally permitted by USCIS because of the pandemic. So technically, we're done with pandemic. Arguably, we're trying to follow CDC, right? So that kind of give you an idea. Just turn on some light so my face can look a little better in the light. All right, folks. So this is a great time to let y'all know if you enjoy the way we share information. We try to share information quickly, our answers if possible. Please tap the screen if you're on TikTok. You can tap it lightly, but just multiple times if you don't mind. And if you're on YouTube and Facebook, and you hit the likes, we greatly appreciate it. That somehow tells the social media platform to share a video to others. But yeah, you can also click share down below, I believe. Let's see here. Afghan Melons submitted 45 November 2021. Submitted you responded back to RFE 11 months ago. Still no decision. Your name has Afghan in it, so I don't want to assume this, but maybe is yours based on SIJ? I'm sorry, a special immigrant visa. Then check the bulletin. But I would suspect that yours is it's ready on the bulletin. Okay. But yeah, if it's maybe you might want to consider talking to us about mandamus lawsuit, especially it's already had RFE and it's been 11 months. That's pretty ridiculous. MMRR. Okay. Hi, do you need to file I-130 45 at the same time? You got married, but your B1 is expired. Okay, if you are in the US, which it sounds like you are, I'm inferring that, and you're married to a US citizen, then yes, you're allowed to file all applications together: I-130, 45, work permit, advanced parole. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to assume your age, MMRR, but let's say you're a lot older and you don't want to work. For that one, I still recommend filing the 765 because you're allowed to. It doesn't cost extra right now. USCIS did have a final rule to increase fees. It could happen at any time. I have honestly no idea why they haven't implemented it yet. I'm kind of surprised, but honestly, maybe they did that in case the next president is a Republican, so they just said they got it done. So I don't know. Just trying to think like the government. That's how we try to prevent immigration problems. Okay. I think there's something else I want to say about that. I can't remember. I have too many points. Oh, the reason behind filing work permit, don't matter your age, but maybe because pandemic, you're like, I'm gonna chill out. Then it's to get your social security number. You're gonna have a better workflow, and you can get your social security and temporary social security number earlier in the process if you file a work permit. Because a lot of people, even we've had clients that unfortunately it didn't trigger all the way to get the social number when they finally got the green card, which is supposed to. So it seems like every month we have like two out of like many that that don't get the social number in through the normal workflow. So that's why I recommend work permit. And if you're thinking about okay, let me just go to the next question. Jada, sorry, why did I'm so sorry. Jada. Yeah, okay. What's wrong with my pronunciation today? I apologize. How long a Jamaican that is married to an American citizen, I-130 take? So it depends if you're consular processing. To some extent, yeah, consular processing or not, because if you're outside America or one of you is outside America, that means you couldn't file the 45. Because if you had filed 45, then 2023, these cases are average 3 months based on marriage. But if you're outside America, it's average like at least 8 months. Okay, 45 got denied because you had a 5-year ban. You entered through Canada. Is there any way to get a green card? I'm assuming you want to ask. So my dog is trying to trip me over here. Yeah, so I'm assuming by now it's already been 5 years. But yeah, we have several clients that have the 5-year ban and you apply for the I-212. Okay. Permission to reapply, re-enter America, but you're in the U.S., right? I'm assuming since you filed the 45, so you don't need the I-212. You probably need the 601. Okay, so this is just quick answers to kind of get you an idea, but you definitely, disclaimer to everyone, you still need to speak with an immigration attorney one-on-one. All right, so you have more time to go thoroughly through your case, but this is just to give you a quick idea. Point you in the right direction. Pradeep, can you file naturalization before 90 days to reach 5 years? You can file within, you can file within the 90-day period window before the 5 years. So that'd be 4 months and 4 years and 9 months after that. But you can't file before the 4 years and 9 months. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. All right, folks. So, by the way, this is a good time to say if you enjoy the share, if I'm not able to answer your question or you want more in-depth answers, solution, the pathway, our pricing, give us a call. Okay, don't be shy. Okay, I know y'all missed me. It's been a week. I had to do a little R&R, but number is, okay, write this down: 720-740-4247. Ruby, what's up? Thank you so much for the rose. Apparently that means you donated money to me, I think. I have no idea. That's what my team tells me. I need to figure that out. But that means the world to me. I'm not Kwame. You ask, what's the next thing to come in the mail after fingerprints? Okay, so the ASC, Application Support Center notice, biometrics notice. After that, hopefully it's not RFE. Okay. If anything, assuming you file 45, then hopefully it's the approval, at least for the work permit, 765. All right. Or if it's the 131 that you filed as well, then hopefully approval for the 131. Okay, folks. So that would be what's next. Okay, hopefully. Typically not an RFE, but I can share an idea because I'm not naming names, but we heard of a story that for the 131 application, USCIS alleged that, hey, prove to me that you maintain your status or you traveled on this date. But the person did not actually travel on that date outside America. And then, so that was on a RFE, then a denial letter had a different date. So it's like, dude, USCIS is like backwards. They don't have the correct information. So how can we prove a negative? So it's pretty ridiculous. Case is still ongoing. But we submitted as much as we can to prove a negative. It was still ridiculous. Genpot, what does it mean that your case taking longer than expected process in I-130? Then it sounds like you can file for, you try the expedite request possibly, if you qualify for that, based on reasoning. We do have a free guide if you want to text our team or give us a call and ask for the free expedite guide. We try to keep things as streamlined as possible. Folks, a lot of the information on our guides, to be honest, is from the USCIS website, but we try to organize it better, streamline it so it's easier to understand, because if it was easy, then y'all probably wouldn't be on the live show. All right. So Afghan, I think I answered your question now. So yeah, Genpot, I think with that being said, your case taking longer than expected. Then the other thing is, in addition to expedite request, is also submitting inquiry. If you wrote in your date of receipt date and it say case is taking longer, then that's saying, hey, you're eligible to submit inquiry. All right, so take a look at that. Tronell, is it normal for underage kids to get their work and social before parents? I don't think there's a rhyme or reason on that. I don't think it's black and white in terms of like kids get it first, which doesn't make sense, right? But hey, if they got it, then hopefully you would get yours soon. But I don't think they have. I haven't seen a lot of data samples that say like, oh, this is their workflow. Let's see. Okay, hopefully I answered your question. KD on YouTube, does the I-130 need to be approved before immigration court case can be terminated? No, it does not require it. We have many, like the majority of our cases actually, the I-130 has just been filed, maybe last week. Preferably we wait until there's a receipt notice, but if anything, we provide them the file, what we had provided to USCIS. But yeah, they've even approved it without a receipt notice. We just provide proof of mailing and all that. And I think part of that's because we're officers of the court, right? I'm not saying like a peace officer, you have to get a certificate like that, like a police officer, but officer of the court. So meaning we're bound by ethics. We have to tell the truth. So, and ultimately, if it was like back in President Trump or President Obama, they would definitely wait for the receipt notice and say, look, we're going to reschedule your case. But the whole point is getting cases dismissed. So, but, my data sample success story in that may not happen for every single city court, immigration court around the country. It could be slightly different. Even the way they accept these submission requests. Okay, Maria, sorry, you had Janice Ricketts, documentary qualified since December 2022. Okay, so yeah, that's what, 9 months already, 8 months at least. But you haven't received an interview date. Yeah, you wanna try to email the consular embassy if you haven't already. I'm assuming you have. Many people have. So if it definitely reaches a year, Janice or anyone been waiting 1 year or more after being DQ'd, documented qualified, then you may want to give us a call about suing the government. Okay. Let's see here. Gem Pot, we tried to expedite or denied that one. What should we do next? Then you need to submit inquiry. Okay, Gem Pot on the tools and resources, or just Google search. You were almost there. Okay, you're really close. Tools and resources. Then click on submit inquiry. I believe that's what it is. And then you click on outside normal processing times. It's ridiculous that y'all even have to do this. Like, should be just automatic that they know this. It's basically like they're wanting you to play cat and mouse. Like, just hang out, wait for us. You can't submit inquiry. You have to check every month. They're trying to force you to check every month. Sorry, Maria. I think you just pinned someone. Comment. Oh, maybe we went through most of it. Okay, Angel or in hell. What happens if your mom got deported and your mom is actually outside America? They likely have still a better chance if they're outside America, actually, in terms of getting status. Well, it depends, right? I mean, it depends actually if there's an actual removal order, then as of now, the law is that you still have to go outside America. It doesn't matter if it's your country of nationality or any other country. You just have to be outside America. You want to get proof of it, go to the consulate, get a stamp on that immigration form. But you also need to be in hell or angel, or you a U.S. citizen, then that's the way. And you're over 21, they can file a petition. still need to file 601 waiver. If it's less than 10 years, you still need to file I-212. So that's the strategy plan right there. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm running up to, oh shoot, I think I have a meeting right now. Okay, let me check. Sorry, I get carried away. Love to share information. Okay. Okay, you guys are in luck. I still have about 5 to 10 minutes, okay? The other meeting got moved around. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. That's helpful. Cassandra? Let's see a comment from Cassandra. Sorry if I'm going out of order. Cassandra, you ask, I'm trying to pin this comment. Pin. Okay. What happens if the spouse, parents, doesn't want to be part of your relationship? Are you trying to say you apply for residency through your spouse and your in-laws don't want to be a part of your relationship? Is that what you mean? Man, I hear this actually quite often. Not always on social media, but just like personal. People I know. Man, it's tough. But look, you don't need a letter from them. It's not always necessary. Look, we only ask for letters when it's usually like a notice of intent to deny. We're really at the last leg of the run, basically. Okay, the last stage of the case, and that's when we would ask for a letter. But hopefully you don't wait that long, Cassandra. Hopefully, if you haven't filed your case, then you can call a lawyer that can help you. It'd be our pleasure to assist you, guide you from start to finish, so that way you don't need a letter from them. Screw them. Don't worry about them. Okay. It's not required by default. Okay. That's tough. Okay. I know. I hear a lot of stories like that, but I wish you the best on that. Hopefully they can turn it around. Okay. I'm sure it's nothing that you've done. Some parents are a little bit rigid. So, let's see here. Back to YouTube real quick. You're welcome, Cassandra. KD, how long does it take to get a response from DHS when you file a case to terminate your court case? Boy, it depends. If your case has been order removed already, whether it's 1 year or 10, 20 years ago, they're going to take longer to get a response from DHS, Department of Homeland Security, inherently just because it's closed, right? So hopefully they made their process a little bit better now that the Texas versus United States Supreme Court case was in favor of the White House executive branch and also for immigrants in this situation. So, but usually if it's an active case, it usually may take all the way until the first court hearing. And just recently had a government DHS attorney reach out about a week reply to my email requesting PD about a week before the hearing, and then needing the fingerprint. And now, by the way, if you need to do FBI background check, we checked again a month or two ago, and they allow it online, to apply online. Okay, it's pretty surprising, honestly, because back in the day, do it by mail, it'll take like 4 months. So finally, technology is catching up to benefit us. All right, hopefully it helps. So, but yeah, I would say about depending if you have a court hearing coming up, then very soon, so they can clear out your case essentially. But if that's the case, then you likely still have to show up to court, and it's kind of better that way, just so that you can like know that the judge is going to make a decision right there on the spot. It's not a wait and see, because some other cases that we have, like the hearing is like 6 months out or a year out, they might wait. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's switch over to TikTok real quick. Okay. You're a green card holder. Is it okay to petition your son who is 26 and living with you? You could, is your son married or single? I respond with that face, because when it's a family preference case, then your son's going to need a waiver, right? Unfortunately, a waiver for unlawful presence. But ultimately, he can't get status. Your son or daughter I'm speaking generally to everyone, you can't get status here in America if it's a family preference, unless you have maintained your non-immigrant status, which most people that call us and message us about this, 95% have not maintained their status. So just keep that in mind. It's not as simple as just one petition, one form. It's going to be a long road. Okay. It's going to be a long road. Janice, yes, just call the 720 number. So our number, folks, especially you on YouTube, 720-740-4247. If you are abroad and you tend to use WhatsApp, or even if you're in America, you prefer WhatsApp to message, that's cool too. A lot of lawyers don't want to deal with it because they don't want to help. I don't understand. Like I've seen on TikTok, some people say, oh, we don't use WhatsApp. I just don't understand that. It is a little frustrating, but they made it easier to allow multiple team members to assist, okay, to get on it. So that would be 346-330-5888, okay? 346-330-5888. And if you didn't catch that number and you're on TikTok or whatnot, send us a DM, okay? We'll happily message it to you. No worries. Jenpa, how long does it take to become a U.S. citizen? I think I just answered one of your questions. So assuming, let's just make a safe assumption that, hey, you become a resident by January 1st, 2024. And what's it called? January 1st, 2024. And if you got residency through a spouse and you remain married to that spouse, then you can apply for residency after 3 years. So technically 90 days before, but 3 years. Otherwise, if you get divorced, then it had to be then go back to 5-year rule. Okay, within 90-day period of the 5 years. Anu, great point. Hey, no in-laws means no nice wedding pictures, but I beg to differ. You don't need wedding photos. You don't need it. Even if a client provides it to us, we provide like two photos from the wedding because we want to show comprehensively your life together as spouses, okay, or partners, whatever phrase you want to call it. Fortunately, America immigration laws, it's open, okay. Any gender can marry any gender. First time phrasing it that way, actually. So that's good. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that although photos would be great from the wedding, for memory purposes, but for USCIS, yeah, even if it's just you two and one other, I recommend at least one other witness there, but it's not required. You could use the witnesses at just the peace court in that sense. But hopefully that helps. Okay. I don't know, because some people worry about that part. Okay, so Maria, can you help out now? Sorry. If you can pin a comment or a question. Y'all are going strong on this. Let's see, on a lot of questions. Carta, you missed registering to vote. You want to test citizenship. How do you fix it? I don't know what you mean, Carta. I think you're trying to say you or are you a citizen, Carta? Only register to vote if you're a citizen, okay? If you're not a U.S. citizen, do not register to vote. You're going to make it more difficult for you in the future, okay? Kimberly, your comments pinned. Is getting Medicaid a public charge for a green card holder? There's a long list, but I don't think, from what I understand, applying for Medicaid in general is not going to, you're not going to take a hit of that by itself. It's a comprehensive review, and you already have residents, or I'm inferring you already have. If you're already a resident, then that's less likely an issue because, yes, the 485 application does ask if you're subject to the public charge inadmissibility ground, and everyone is subject to it if you're applying for adjustment of status, at least based on marriage. So hopefully that helps. But subject to public charge doesn't mean you're saying I am a public charge, or finding a public charge. That's not what it's saying. It's a little bit confusing. I'll make sure to record a video about that later. Toletsky on YouTube, you're a subscriber. Thanks for you spoke with one of our team members. Appreciate it. Can you renew AAD even dismissed your case in court? It depends what your application is. Let me see if I can pull it up. My computer is being a little slow. I got a lot of tabs open. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I can't pull it up. My mouse is being funky right now. But yeah, if you have maybe a 45 application filed, I'm going to make a safe assumption it's actually 589 for asylum. From what I understand, you have to refile the 589 just in case. Let's see. So it may also depend when you file the 589 application, if it was during court proceedings, or before. If it was before, then I likely say you don't have to refile. Okay, but you might want to, I don't know if the team has scheduled you for a counsel, but hopefully you're eligible for one. But yeah, if it's a 485 application, because maybe you filed 42B before, then yeah, you would have to file 45 if you're eligible for that. Okay. All right, Selma Bell, can you travel to Canada if not, if you're on a F1 status? That's gonna make it difficult, okay, Selma. So if that's the situation, then you want to schedule a F1 interview in Canada. Okay, see if you can do that. So that's tough. I mean, you want to get that interview scheduled because you don't want to fly to Canada, wait for an interview, and then maybe an interview is not available at the time that you have your return trip. So if anything, maybe an open ticket, right? So because you're not going to be able, the stamp is required to come back into America. The I-20 is not going to be enough. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I gotta go in 60 seconds. Okay, 60 seconds. All right, Maria, can you pick two more? And then I gotta jump off. But I'll be back on tomorrow, so no problem. Join us live tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and I'll answer more questions. But of course, if you want in-depth answers, please give us a call, 720-740-4247. Okay, Ron, that's going to be the last question. Wife sought U.S. asylum 2020. Married in 2021. You're on F1. Can you join her case? Yeah, you could join her case as a dependent. So you'd have to update the application. We don't handle asylum cases. So you might want to speak with, we referred to several attorneys, but one that comes to mind right now is Brian Manning. He's actually on TikTok and YouTube as well. If you Google search like Brian Manning political asylum or just asylum, his information should pop up. But of course, do your due diligence. Always check with who you trust, of course. So watch his videos too. Okay. All right, folks. I greatly appreciate it, folks. It's 12:47. I gotta grab a bite to eat real quick and then head to a team meeting. Thank you so much, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.